Hello and welcome to glennzb TV for Tuesday, the show that puts glennzb into your virtual headset. I'm bringing New Zealand to the world, and the world to New Zealand. And you know what a massive fan of the Royals I am. But this lady here has been waiting around, lurking, as I like to call it, outside the hospital for 15 days. And then, what do you know? A baby came. Isn't it just amazing? How on earth did it happen? Apparently, what happened was she went into labour, they took her to hospital, and just a matter of hours later, a baby came out of her vagina. And then, just hours after that, they loaded her, the baby, and the prince himself. They all got into a car, and he managed to put the car seat in the car, and then he got in the car and he drove it away. Meanwhile, in other places in the world, there's a state visit going on in the US. Donald and Melania are hosting Mr. Macron. And the first thing he did when he touched down on American soil is he wandered down these steps. Again, I'm left asking the question, why do they make important people walk down steps on airplanes? Why can't they have an air bridge? It just seems like the potential for disaster there. Imagine if the first time Macron is being hosted in the States and he falls down the steps and breaks his neck. Welcome to the USA. Anyway, that wasn't the point I was going to make, because I've made that point before. The point I was going to make is, so he's just flown on an international flight, and he goes straight up to the microphone, does a press conference, speaks in English, sort of English. He said discussing instead of discussing, and he could not pronounce the word opportunity to save himself, even though he tried multiple occasions. Go back and have a listen; it's quite amusing. He reminds me of the bloke off a Lower Low who was just pissing by and he stooped on a small poodle. But anyway, what my point was, which I still haven't made yet, but I will, is doesn't he look fresh? So I'm thinking his international plane trip differs slightly from my international plane trips. Because I certainly don't look as fresh as that when I get off the... I thought the hair's a bit sort of all over the place. But then who am I to judge? Finally, it turns out that the Waffle House shooting is all Taylor Swift's fault, of course. He had some problem with Taylor Swift, and so stripped naked and went in there and shot some people. And because this is on the back of the guy the other week who, he robbed the bank and then went round to her place and threw the money over the fence at her in order to try and get her to go out with him. No, I haven't heard whether that worked or not. But she is so boring that I think people do these things to try and make her appear more interesting, and they have not succeeded yet, even though they've gone to some drastic measures. Anyway, basically, we just need to get rid of Taylor Swift, and a lot less bad things will happen. I am Glenn ZB. Thank you so much for having me inside your virtual headset. I'll see you back here again, not tomorrow, because that's Anzac Day. See you Thursday.